You know, when we think of reality stars, we think of today's people, the influencers, don't we? The people that apparently are going to get you and I to spend our hard-earned cash following them, liking them, clicking on them, buying their products, whatever it may be. But of course, when you think about it, nothing is new. I know I say that a lot here on the show, but it's simply not. And here's a story told to me by a very good friend who knew this particular Hollywood legend incredibly well. And I thought I'd share it with you because, of course, these are the stories that get lost in the annals of time. As ever, let me explain. Hi, nice to see you. We're on a bus. Well, of course you can tell. The intelligent ones can see I'm moving around. It's quite hard, actually. Yeah, it's quite lumpy on this bus. I hope you're all not getting a little travel sick with me, but it's nice to get out and about, isn't it? You know what it's like. A little bit of fresh air. Boiling day here today in the heart of London, nonetheless. Now, let me share this wonderful story with you because, as I say, you look at people and you think, oh, they're rare. You know, they do it simply because of today's society, the digital platforms, all that sort of stuff. But you know, celebrities were doing this sort of thing many, many years ago. And one guy that did it incredibly well was none other than the international Hollywood icon, pianist extraordinaire, and of course, king of Las Vegas, none other than Liberace. Now, you see, Liberace was already a major star, no two ways about it. But by the time the 1960s had come around, the late 1960s, things were going a little bit difficult for him. Not as successful as they should have been. You know, he'd been around since the early 1950s and enjoyed a major TV show and wonderful record success and even appeared in a few movies. But he wanted to reinvent himself. And by reinvent himself, he needed to do something radically different. Now, London had always really enjoyed Liberace's performances, World Commands, London Palladium, all that sort of stuff. But what he was really interested in was the fact that, of course, swinging 60s London was very much in the foray. And more importantly, Liberace decided to do something that was inspired by his old Hollywood pal, nonetheless, the blonde bombshell Jayne Mansfield. You see, just before her tragic death, she'd been working on a movie called The Wild, Wild World of Jayne Mansfield, which was really just a reality docu-series following her round as she made films across Europe. Now, Liberace thought this was a great idea, something similar for him, but he decided shopping with Liberace. So he instructed a film crew to follow him round for the day, filming in the wonderful Carnaby Street. Now, when you see pictures of this, you can understand that the hip and swinging kids of Carnaby Street weren't particularly over-thrilled at seeing this flamboyant entertainer looking at their fashions. You know what it's like, age catches up with everybody. Apparently Liberace thought that this was going to do well, simply because the film company were able to sell the film into cinemas, newsreels, well, over 150 territories, and he thought, wow, this could be a TV series. They didn't call it reality then. But sadly for Liberace, the company that were looking to make it with him, first of all, went bust. He couldn't get any backing for it. And more importantly, a lot of people felt he wasn't the right image or fitting for this brand new era, particularly as we were leaving the 60s and going into the 1970s. But Liberace didn't give up. He was inspired by somebody else and literally decided to borrow certain elements of the act of another British institution, the TV cook Fanny Cradock. I kid you not. And that's how the Liberace cookbooks came to light. Now, if you own one of those, they're worth a lot of money and still worth a lot of money online. But more importantly, they're gems because they tell you how to make the Liberace lasagna, amongst other things. Very successful in their day, but sadly now out of print. Something, of course, Liberace would never let happen if he was still around today. But what's interesting about this particular story is it just goes to show, doesn't it, that really we changed the title of things, reality TV. But in reality, it's all been done before. And Liberace probably did it better. Neil Sean on a London bus in the very heart of London.